So today in class we discussed the importance of alignment, distribution, and grouping when you're working in Illustrator to make things look organized and well laid out, and also to help you out when you're moving things around because there's so many pieces that make up things. So today we're going to put that into practice. We're going to start off with the sun here. I've given you these three components that make up a sun, but they're not evenly spaced out. So let's select multiple things by holding shift. So we're going to select one part of the sun, hold shift, select the other pieces. And then we're going to pull up our alignment settings. Now, alignment settings are in two locations. If you hit properties, they'll show up here on the side. I personally like to have my alignment window open. So I'm going to go up to window, hit align, and this just lets me have my settings really available, everything open. It's just easier. We're going to start by aligning it through the horizontal center and then aligning it through the vertical center. That way we have a nice even sun. Last thing we're going to do is group it so we can move the sun together. Object, group. And so you can kind of see how all those things work together in unison to create something really nice. Next part is this road. All these lines on the road are off. So again, just like the sun, I'm going to hold shift and click on each one of these little white lines. And I'm just going to center them. Okay. If you get confused which one does what, you can hover your mouse over it or you can just click it. And if it's wrong, undo. So I'm going to center them this way, but I need to distribute them this time. And remember, distribute means evenly spaced between shapes. So I want to distribute it horizontally as well. And now I have like a nice road that's evenly spaced. I'm going to group this as well just because it's easier to move. And I can move my road to be wherever I want, and it's all nice and neat. Now, the main part of today is building some buildings, okay? Now, I've given you 3 building bases here. Some roofs, if you'd like to elaborate and make them a little bit more fancy, and some windows. Now, you have to create 3 buildings in total, and every building has to have a whole bunch of windows. What I'm asking for is that the windows be aligned and distributed really nicely, and this is what I mean. So say I like this space. I'm going to get a little closer, and I'm going to pick which window I like. Maybe I like this window. Okay, I'll copy and paste it. Hit Control C, Control V. I'm going to resize my window so it makes sense to my building. I don't need a giant window. And you have to have a lot more than one. Let's say 8 windows per building. So I'm just going to make a few copies here. All right, so I have all my windows. Problem is they are not evenly spaced or aligned. They look really wonky. I want a really nice window layout. So I'm going to click on one row of them by holding Shift. I'm going to center them and I'm going to distribute them vertically. And do the same thing on the other row. And now I have a nice evenly spaced layout of a window. I can select everything. I want to group it so I can move it together. Object group. And then I can bring my building here. I'm going to have to make this much larger. I'm going to lay this out. Okay, you have to have 3 buildings in total. If you finish early, an extension would be to change the colors of these. You could just ungroup them or triple click on them to individualize each one. Like if I want this to be a different color, I can. And make my layout a little more interesting. And if you want to create more elaborate buildings, you can as well. But what I'm really looking for is evenness with alignment, distribution, and you grouping things so they move together. Good luck.